all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, everybody. How we doing? How are we doing? So, I had more to say when it came to this situation. And it may seem to people that I might be belaboring the point, but I'm actually coming at this as Coach Crimson, because over the last couple of years, I have coached probably more couples than I have individual people. And marriage is a funny thing because it takes work, and sometimes it takes a lot of work, and sometimes it takes less work than we think it takes for certain things. Now, if I were coaching Judge Mathis and his wife, I would have to take into consideration everything that he said in that post. Everything that he said in that post. Him taking accountability for not paying her enough attention or giving her enough of him, even in his retirement phase and all of that. And that's cool that he wanted to do that, because in that I saw his protecting of her image. That's how I saw that. He took the accountability, not because everything is 100% his fault, but because he is hiding her shortcomings from the world, which he should. I'm always a proponent of married people not exposing the shortcomings of their spouse to the world and letting the world run their spouse down. Right? With that being said, I'm also a big proponent of you're contributing to the downfall of your marriage. Both people. Because when you have a marriage that go on that long, there's no such thing as it's failing and you don't have nothing to do with that. So while he may have been trying to take the responsibility away, at least in the public eye, on her, today we gonna talk about her contribution to that. Her contribution to that. Because there's a reason. There's a reason. And we're going to talk about those reasons. Now, it's interesting the insight that you can get, even when a person is being careful with their words. But because I coach couples so much, the insight that he gave shed a lot of light on the other side of that equation, because he did a great job of protecting her. However, if you have experience looking at people's marriage in breakdown and in health, then you start to understand what the issues are, right? Now, I gave her the benefit of the doubt in the earlier video that I did today. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, which I would have done if we were coaching. If I were coaching them in person, I would have to hear her. I would have to hear her side, because it wouldn't be my place to judge whether or not it's significant or not. Her concerns being significant in my eyes is immaterial to it. When I approach coaching, I do so from a non-judgmental space because I have to, because I'm impartial, because I'm not married to either of you, right? My job is to help the couple understand why they're in breakdown and to help them see their way out of the breakdown. But ultimately, that work is up to them. So this is going to be something that if you're married, you might want to listen up. The first thing that I want to say is that the dynamics of a marriage will always change because life changes. At first, you're a couple and you get married and you don't have kids. So there's a particular dynamic there. If children are introduced into that relationship, that changes the dynamic, right? And so the whole purpose of it is you got to roll with those punches. Whatever you were doing in one phase of the relationship, you might have to change or evolve or tweak that somehow to make the new dynamics work. New dynamics do not automatically spell the doom of a relationship, or it shouldn't. Because if you agree to be with each other, then you agree to go through life with each other, and life does not softball you. Sometimes it's going to be really challenging spaces. Sometimes it's going to be easy spaces, and you got to be ready for it, even if you're not ready for it. So you go through phases in your relationship. There's a phase with the kids, and then there's a phase without the kids, and then there's a phase where everything's going on, and then there's a phase where things calm down, and those dynamics are always changing. They're always changing. The two people, while the core of who they are does not change, they may respond to the different things differently. And you, as the other spouse, got to be ready for that. And you have to be able to navigate that with them. Okay? Because nothing that I've heard and no conclusion that I've drawn from this situation tells me that this is a marriage that needs to end. I didn't hear that. But what we are going to talk about is the fact that ultimatums, threats, that's the fastest way to kill your marriage. Threats and ultimatums, and if you don't do this or else, or if you don't do this, I'm gonna do that, or if you don't do this, this gonna happen, and that all of that, death nail to the relationship, death nail. Okay? Because she's not innocent. But neither of them are doing anything to each other that they need to leave each other either. I 100%, this is a perspective issue. I have had this issue so many times with couples, and sometimes I'm able to help them, and sometimes they're already at the end of their rope, so they don't want to change their perspective. You become so entrenched in how you perceive a situation that you don't want to change it. These two people need to meet in the middle. And they're scuffling for whatever reason to do that. Because Judge Mathis, though he may be 61, he's not an old 61. You understand what I'm saying? Right? He's active. No. This woman don't want to be in the street. That's not what I'm getting. If she was a younger woman, that would make sense. Tia Mowry wanted to be in the street, but Tia Mowry's like 40. She's in her 40s. The reason I say that this woman, this is not a street, I want some more D issue. This woman is postmenopausal. This is a 61-year-old woman. She's postmenopausal. Just biologically, sex is not on the top of her list. She may still want to have sex. I'm not saying that she don't want no sex. But I'm saying sex to her is not as important as it was when she was 45. It's not. She done already went through her menopause. And just biologically, the way women's hormones are, the sex drive, it goes down. It don't just die. You still be wanting some. But that super high priority, I must be having sex all the time. For females, that's not. If she were a younger woman, that would actually make more sense to me. But that's not what I'm getting. Because if this was a chick that was cheating or she already had a dude, I would actually be surprised by that. And women that's having sex with another man get real disrespectful. Get real disrespectful to the other man, to their husbands and stuff. Like they get a real disrespectful energy because they getting it from some other guy. So their husband all of a sudden he need to be disrespected. I'm kind of not getting that from her. I'm kind of not getting the street thing from her. Like I said, if she was younger, that would actually make more sense to me. But because she's a postmenopausal woman, that might not be playing so much into it, the sex deal. Because if you think about it, if we assume that she ain't never cheated on him, then she's probably accustomed to not having sex as much because he don't be there. So if we assume the better situation where she wasn't cheating on him all this time, right? Then she's probably accustomed to not having a whole lot of sex to him because she wasn't having a whole lot of access to him because he just was on his grind and he was gone and doing other things. But here's the thing. I'm going to break this down so that y'all can actually kind of see where I'm going with it. So like I was saying about Judge Mathis, he is an active kind of guy. Yes, she is. But I'm going to get to that, right? He an active 61-year-old man. He go to the gym, okay? Judge Mathis is outside. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that he is not a homebody person. He don't strike me as the type of person that want to sit at home. He don't want to do that. He like being out. He likes, you know what I'm saying, traveling. He likes different events. He likes being, you know what I'm saying, around people and networking with people. And, you know what I'm saying, he strike me as an extrovert. Okay. So he got a lot of energy, right? And Miss Linda don't seem like she got that kind of energy. Miss Linda seemed like she also 61, but she's slower than him. She don't want to jet set. She don't want to study travel for weeks at a time and be in the hotel, and she don't really want to do that. But there's an issue there, right? Because he took the brunt of, well, I neglect her and this and that and the third. But I don't think that's completely true. I actually don't think that that's completely true. Because I can almost 100% guarantee you that he tried the traveling with me. You come with me, right? He tried that and that didn't work. And the reasons that didn't work is what we finna dig into now with Miss Linda. He tried that. He tried come work with me. Come to the place with me. Okay, come to the, you know what I'm saying, with me. Come do that. But she don't want to do that. Miss Linda, I'm going to be honest with you. And this is with very limited witnessing of her in public and interactions. Miss Linda do not seem like she is very friendly. She might be the buzzkill. Okay? You might be the sourpuss. See, if you a sourpuss, you can't come around. It don't encourage him to bring you around his friends. And I'm talking about in a social setting, not in a business setting where he would have to show up with his wife. Okay, and that's a good look. She seemed like she'll do that, right? But if it's a little outing, she seemed like the type that's a sourpuss. She seemed like she complained a lot about little stuff. You know, if we out traveling in another city, she want to be in the hotel room by 10 o'clock. But we can't do that. We can't do, that's what I mean by Judge Mathis seemed like he just got a lot of high energy and she don't. And because she don't, she feel a whole way. She got insecurities that she do not work on. She got insecurities that she do not work on. I'm going to tell you where she coming from with that. First of all, Miss Linda feel like she share him with everybody. So when she say give her attention, she mean give her attention in a space where she don't have to share him. Because if they go out in public, he Judge Mathis. So people are going to walk up to you. People are going to want selfies. People are going to want, you know, the paparazzi might be around, stuff like that. Sometimes if you're not the celebrity, you don't want to be caught up with the whole thing of that. It's a weird thing to be somewhere and people know who you are and they just come up to you. I couldn't get used to it. It don't happen as much now that I'm in New York, but in Chicago, it happened all the time. And it's real interesting. Like, I didn't mind it, but it was new to me. So it was like, why are you walking up? I couldn't figure out why they was walking up to me. And then when they would say, oh, ain't you the Crimson Cure? Oh, okay, now I get it. Right? So she don't want to be nowhere with him where everybody else, he got to pay attention to everybody else. Right? Now, this is not his fault. Because he's established. He's a celebrity. It is what it is. People recognize him when he go places. It is what it is. There's no going back from that. Okay? There's no coming back from that. He's already established. Is what it is. Okay? So sometimes the people that be with you, they don't want to do that. Which I can kind of understand. I can kind of understand that. To a certain degree, I get it. But let me keep going. She got a lot of different insecurities that she has not dealt with over the years, and she's trying to make him pay for that. And she can't, and that's the wrong way to go about it. And I noticed she's been going about it the wrong way, because trying to file for divorce as a grab your attention stunt, ultimatum stunt, that's a stunt. And that is likely to backfire. That ultimatums rarely do, what you think they do. If you can listen to me, I don't know who need to hear this, but if you are in a marriage and you are the type of person that's always throwing the gauntlet down and you always setting the ultimatum, it is not doing what you think that it do. Threatening your spouse about what's gonna happen if they don't do this and do that, no bueno. No bueno. Because you don't want your spouse to be doing stuff out of the fear of losing you or out of resentment because you threaten them. You don't want your spouse doing nothing for you out of them spaces. That don't do nothing but build resentment and put the nails in the coffin of your relationship. You are never supposed to threaten your spouse with leaving them or nothing, because what you telling them is you just itching to leave them. I don't listen, because some people you can't throw the ultimatum down for, because they'll make you stand on that business. They'll make you stand on that business. Giselle Bundchen threw the gauntlet down to Tom Brady. He was like, peace. See, you can't do that. That's not a threat to everybody. And see, even me personally, even though it may hurt me to my soul, I'll make you stand on that. I'll make you stand on it. And that may break me from the inside, from my toe to my head, to make you stand on that. But do not throw no gauntlet down to me. Don't do that. Do not do that. Talking about, if this don't happen, I'm gonna leave you. You get to, like Martin used to say, get to stepping. You really get to stepping. What you waiting on? Because if we gonna work through it, we gonna work through it. If the ultimatum is not the resolution, that's not how you get to the heart of nothing, and that is not how you get to the root of nothing, and that is not how you get to the solutions. That's a threat. It's a threat. It is not making the people open their eyes, especially if you throw the ultimatum down and then and this is what I think she gonna do, and this is why I titled it like this, it's gonna backfire, because Miss Linda looked like the type that wanted to throw the gauntlet down, and at this point, it did grab his attention, and he don't want to let the marriage go. But if she do one of these, yeah, and you have to do everything I want you to do. If she do that, it's gone. Because he's going to be like, you know what? Why I got to do all of that? Don't be innocent. Because, see, he covered her shortcomings in front of us. But he know the shortcomings. So he going to be like, don't play innocent with me like that. Don't do that. See, if she call herself, stomp her foot, and do one of these, it's gone. Because all of that throwing the ultimatum down was a no-no anyway. That's not a flex. Going somewhere to foul on your husband, that's not a flex. I don't agree with that. What you do that for? What you do that for? What was that? A stunt? You trying to get some more attention? You gonna get some attention you don't want to get. Is what's gonna happen. Like I said before, you better go in there and sit in that chair and talk to him. And not from the perspective of, because this is how it strike me. It strike, I'm gonna come from, okay, so you know that even from what he said in that clip, you know Judge Mathis done had some side chicks. Put a 1 in the chat if you know he done had some side chicks over the years, okay? She raising them kids, he gone, ripping and running. He done had some women. Put a 1 in the chat if you know that. Okay. Now she called herself kind of, they weathered that storm, however they did it, right? However, here's the problem that I'm having and that I think Miss Linda is doing. And I think she been doing this for a minute. Okay? I think she been doing this for a little minute. She didn't leave him for the side chicks. Okay? But it gave her resentment and insecurity that she has not resolved. Okay? It gave her resentment and insecurity. Because now it's like, well, are you cheating? She straight, Miss Linda, if you listening, is you doing this stuff? You don't go with him, and you know what I'm saying, but you trying to be the police every time he leave. Every time he gone, you call. Every time he gone, you got to get in touch. You got to do this, you got to do that. Is you doing that, Miss Linda? Because she strike me as doing that. Because here's my deal. If you gonna turn your head, if your husband cheat and you gonna turn your head because you saying, okay, well, he out there, I ain't gonna make too much of us think about it. You know, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna have my feelings, but I'm not gonna leave my marriage. Okay. But if you gonna turn your head, you gotta go ahead and keep it turned. Don't turn back. Keep your head turned. Keep your head turned. Keep it turned the other way. Just keep it turned. Because if it's a deal breaker, let it break the deal. And I'm going to tell you this much too. This is my armchair diagnosis. I'm going to tell you this much too. The reason why they marriage survived that is because that was not any kind of public scandal. See what I'm saying? She was not publicly embarrassed by it. So if this was just between him and her, she kind of like swallowed that, right? But it seemed like to me, she be trying to police it too. See, you can't do both. You can't, I don't want to go, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and be stubborn about it, but then also want to be the police and call him, make sure, quote unquote, make sure he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. See, because you can't do it no way. You cannot police listen, ladies, I don't care what kind of marriage you have. You can have the best marriage in the whole world. You cannot police these men's D. You cannot do it. It is attached to him and you are not. And so therefore, you cannot watch him 24 hours a day. So you either is not going to worry about it or you going to leave because you worried about it. But staying there and then trying to be on his head top because you think he doing this and doing that, that's a no bueno. He was born with his penis, baby. It is attached to him, baby. And if he going to do something with it, you can't stop it. I don't know what be with y'all females think y'all can stop these men. You cannot stop these men. You cannot. You can't do it. You can't stop. So you either gonna leave because he cheating this, that, and the third, or if you turning your head, then go ahead, turn it. Now, they went through that, however they got through that, right? But now she insecure. Because see, Miss Linda, like I said before, Miss Linda is slower than Judge Mathis. Okay? She don't have the energy. She strike me as a little bit boring and a little bit of a homebody. Now, that ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people is just like that. I'm not saying that she bad for that. But what I'm saying is you got to spunk it up a little bit. This is what I mean by meeting in the middle. Can he slow down? Because he's at a point now where he don't have to go on all the trips. He can tell them, hey, I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna chill with my wife. He can do that. He's at the point now where he has the option to do that and be at home with her a little bit more. You're not young. You may have a lot of energy, but you're not in your 20s, 30s, 40s no more. So you can chill for a little bit. You really can. Because she called herself want him to herself. And home, in the privacy of their home, is the only way that she can have him where she don't have to share him with the world. And I can get that to a certain degree. So a little bit of compromise. I don't have to be on all the time. I can come back. But now, Miss Linda, you got to meet him the other way. And see, this little stunt gonna backfire if she think he got to come all the way over to where she at. That's not gonna work, Miss Linda. It's not gonna work. You kiss your husband goodbye then, if that's what it is. It's not fair to try to make him come all the way to your perspective and do what you want, because there's a reason. If he's choosing all of these other people to interact with before he chooses you to interact with, there is a reason why he's not interacting with you like that, like you want him to. Because I'm going to tell you what a lot of y'all chicks be doing. I'm going to tell you what y'all do, what you do wrong. Huh? And even from my coaching, I have heard men do this too sometimes too. You can't argue whether they do it or not. You can't do that. If you have said, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, and then that person do it, you can't still be complaining. So, for example, if she wanted him to be home, right? More, right? So then he say, okay, I'm not going to go to such and such place, right? I'm going to stay home with you, right? So he stay home with her, right? While he there, Miss Linda, you can't be still got your mouth long enough to suck peas out of a hot sauce bottle. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't do that. So when he there to spend time, now I don't know why, what took you so long. Now I guess you want to spend time with me. Hey, because this is not going to encourage him to spend more time. Because now how he gonna read that is, well, I'm messed up if I do and I'm messed up if I don't. So I might as well go somewhere where I'm having fun. Because if I'm going to be here with you and you're going to be a sourpuss, then what I'm over here with you for? You can't do that. Girl, if you don't be quiet, if he sacrificed going golfing with his friends to be there with you, listen, you better pull out all the stuff. Make it pleasant. Make it pleasant. You're not being his friend. You're too busy being jealous of his friendships and wondering why you can't be down and why you the odd man out. And I do believe she the odd man out, but it's partially her fault though that she the odd man out. She the odd man out, but she kind of make herself the odd man out too. She make herself the odd man out as well. She making herself the odd man out because she won't go with the flow and just be easy. Like she won't do it. Everything is a sourpuss. And you can't do that. Because you want him to do what you want him to do. And then when he come do it, you can't punish him for not doing it before. Like, no. Because a man is always going to see it one way. He going to see it as, you begged me to do this. Now that I'm doing this, now you still mad. So I might as well do what I want to do. That's how he gonna read that 100% of the time. That's how he gonna read that. That's how he gonna read that. He not gonna read that no differently. You know, go to the gym with him. Like, she want him to work out with her in the house gym. And that's okay sometimes, right? But sometimes, Miss Linda, you gotta go to the outside gym with him. He don't want to be, Judge Mathis don't want to be in the house. He don't want to sit around. He don't want to sit around. But older women, the older we get, the more we want to nest. So this is why I'm saying she probably don't want to jet set, but you gotta swallow that. And you gotta do it anyway sometime. If you want, listen, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go to break. My husband be in and out of here. If I want quality time with him, instead of complaining, oh, you ain't here, you did da. You know what I gotta do? I gotta go with him. So when he at the gym for like 2.5 hours, guess where I gotta be? If I want to chill, I gotta come to the gym. Or don't go to the gym. And then now your mouth gonna be long enough to suck peas out of hot sauce bottle, baby, because he ain't come back in here to such and such a clock. And you ain't seen him all day. That's the quality time. I don't like the gym. The gym is his sanctuary, not mine. I don't like the gym. Because working out is my Achilles heel, but we ain't going to talk about that. I go to the gym, first of all, because this is an interest of my husband. And so I want to connect with him. Why do he love the gym so much? It's very important to him to keep his health up. It's very important to him to keep his strength up and things of that nature. So what is important to him has to become important to me as well. So I can't be like, oh, that's just him. Because if I consistently do, oh, well, them just his hobbies, or these are just his activities that he do, I don't want to be a part of that, then you won't be a part of it. You won't be a part of him. You won't be a part of what he do. You won't be a part of his life, and you will start feeling left out of the loop. And this is why I'm saying that, because it seemed like Miss Linda put herself out of the loop as well. And she's blaming it 100% on Judge Mathis, that she's out of the loop. Well, you put me out of the loop. No, you put yourself out of the loop too. You put yourself out because you don't want to come with me when I'm working. You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying, in these little spaces that I'm in. You don't really want to do this and do that. You don't want to, and so but this is what I'm doing. So if this is not important to you and you don't want to come, I'm not going to make you do it. But at the same time, don't start complaining to me that you are not included, because you kind of don't want to be included either. Because every time you be coming around, you're a sourpuss. Don't nobody want to be hanging with no buzzkill. And Miss Linda don't seem like she's very friendly. But after these messages, we'll be right back. Hold on. Before I do this, something wrong. Hold on. There's something very wrong. Now, after these messages, we'll be right back. Because I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you're trying to keep your skin looking its best, feeling its best, moisturized, and smelling wonderful, then you definitely are going to have to go to ashkicking.com and pick up their body butter. This is some of the best body butter on the market and that I've personally used. It's very creamy, and the thing that I like the most about it is how quickly it actually absorbs into the skin. So it doesn't just sit there and be all greasy or whatever. It actually absorbs in really well, and it leaves the scent behind. And even for those of you who are sensitive to fragrances, then they have an unscented option as well. If this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Okay. I don't know how many likes I need, but I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta Let me go ahead and get these super chats. Thank you, Miss Lucas. It is a huge factor within a relationship. If one is an extrovert and the other one is an introvert, that will cause a lot of friction. Thank you, Tony. Said, preach to these hyenas. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Who would you say? It's a very sad situation for Unc to be going through. I agree. Thank you, Top Box says she knew what she signed up for once he became that dude. Rooting for them anyway, because our community needs more successful marriage role models. I am rooting for them. Dr. Steele, thank you. I don't think that Your Honor was exercising his options. He felt that his wife was his only option. The wife was just insecure and impatient. And that's possible. Although I kind of don't get that. I don't really get that. And I'm not allegedly. This is just my opinion. He seemed like when a man is gone like that and it's just women around, sometimes I'm not saying every man gotta fall victim, because they don't. There are men who would not. There definitely are men who would not. It's just that I don't think he one of them. But I could be wrong. This is just allegedly. This is just my observation. From the way he stated, see, I have, because I'm a coach, I have to listen to how people say stuff. That's important. Because he didn't say there was never any infidelity. He didn't say that. He just said that's not what this is about. And I believe him. Here's the thing. She is, in my opinion, she is, through her insecurities and things, this is personal for her, and she's projecting a lot of this on him. She wants him to fix the insecurity. She wants him to fix. But he can't fix that, ladies. Your man cannot fix your insecurities. He can try to make the circumstances or the environment a little bit better if possible, but that's really the extent of it. If you have a lot of inside insecurities, That is something that you must deal with. You have to deal with that, because your insecurities, if you leave that unchecked, you will start projecting things onto your husband, and it will be unfair, because now he has to fight a battle that he really can't win, because he can't win a battle with you fighting your insecurities and then projecting that fight onto him. That's not gonna work. That's gonna kill that relationship slowly. That's gonna kill that relationship slowly. It's a sad thing, because this relationship, if they wanted to retrieve it, it's extremely retrievable, because it's really just a perspective shift. 100%, I guarantee you, it is a perspective shift. Because if they break up a year from now, both of them are going to see where the other one came from. And then they're going to be trying to figure out why we couldn't figure this out while we was married. I guarantee you. The perspective is going to shift anyway. Because you can't tell me that this is the worst thing y'all been through in 40 years. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. Y'all done been through more than that in 40 years. Okay? Because when you get, if you go through with the divorce, then what? You're gonna have even less access to him. This isn't going to resolve it. It just cuts your access to the man that you actually want access to. This just cuts it. That's all that it does. That's all that it does. She's insecure about the women. If he had relations with other women at some point in the marriage, if she saw them women, chances are they probably look a little better than her. And more than that, they probably was more energetic and ready to roll than you are. But that's not his problem. Because from what I get from this is that he loves her very much. Whether he had extramarital affairs or not, he loved her. He loved her. Now, whether or not she's gotten to a point where she calls herself don't love him, I don't know. But this is what I do know. This is what I do know. If she go through with what I believe is a stunt, her perspective, she's going to be, because it's going to remove her from the situation, then she going to see where she should have shifted her perspective. She going to see it. And then it's going to be way too late. Way too late. And that is what I be trying to do. And some couples I was able to help and some not, right? I was able to help more couples than I wasn't able to help, because I often see this is almost 100% of the issue, especially when you have marital issues that is not these big glaring things, abuse and da-da-da-da-da. It's really be communication and the perspective, because people become entrenched in just how they see it, and it is this way, and it's not no other way, and that's gonna kill you. That's gonna kill you. You cannot become immovable out your position. You can't be standing on stupid business, Because that's usually what it is. Ultimatums and threatening folk and all that kind of stuff means that one or both of you have now a position and that you don't want to move off of because you feel like you're right. And my question is do you want to be right or do you want some peace? And unfortunately, too many people want to be right. They fight to be right, and then they don't have no peace. And you be so, I'm standing on business, but is it stupid business though? You standing on stupid business. You're not standing on no good business. You're not standing on no principles. You're not standing on your values. You standing on, I need to be right. You know what I'm saying? That's what you standing on. And you can't stand on that and have the peace of your marriage. You can't do that. So you trying to be right or you trying to have peace? And it seems like Miss Linda is trying to be right. Miss Linda, is you out here trying to be right? Because if you out here trying to be right, you might as well go ahead finish that paperwork, baby girl. Go ahead do it. Because you done already did a no-no. Because you done went and filed some papers on your husband. Girl, bye. You contributing to this stuff. He is not just the one that's doing, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. I already gave you the benefit of the doubt. We already went down that road. That if what he said was true, then I could see your point. And I do believe to a point, it is like that. But you can't just say that you are not contributing to that. You can't just say that. Because if you are friends with your man, he want to be around you. He want to be around. This is a dare. I'm telling you, you think I won't do this. See, it's you comfortable. After 40 years, you can't help but get comfortable. She always be talking about, see, I'm gonna leave. She done said that a lot. He don't hear that. Okay, he don't hear that. So he thinking, girl, go ahead on. You ain't going nowhere. And see, you can't tell folk that they ain't going nowhere. Right? You really kind of can't say that. The wife can't say it to the husband and the husband can't say it to the wife because you don't know what folks gonna do. So you can't be like, oh, you ain't going nowhere because that's taking folks for granted. Okay, you ain't finna do nothing. You always doing that. You always saying something. And so now the reason she went to file them papers is because, oh, you think I really won't do this. And so she went to file some papers. Now it do grab his attention. But this is the wrong way to go about it. That was not a good way to go about it. I'm not in agreement with ultimatums. I am not in agreement with threatening your spouse about how you gonna leave and what you gonna do. I do not agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. You cannot threaten it. If you really at the space where divorce is the answer, you better be prepared to go through with that. That's not a threat. You better be prepared to stand on that. If it come out your mouth, you better be prepared to stand it because you don't know how that other person gonna respond. They might tell you deuces. Because see, she'd have been hurt if he didn't pursue after. If he didn't fight for her or whatever, then she'd have been like, oh my God. But see, you went over there and filed the paperwork though. Just like Giselle Bundchen. Giselle wanted Tom to fight for her. They've been married so many years, had these kids and stuff like that. And for God's sake, she Giselle Bundchen. You see what I'm saying? And she wanted Tom to come back and Giselle, I'll make it right. You know what I'm saying? You know, blah, 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 blah. And we don't know if he did or not. Right? We don't know if he did or not. We don't know if he tried to have that conversation with her. Well, you know, baby, come on. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to file no papers now. You know what I'm saying? I I can't trust. Oh, you can't trust? Okay. She better be glad she had her own bag. Cause did they do a settlement? Did she get the money that she thought she gonna get? I don't know. She better be glad she had her own bag. Okay. You can't be throwing no gauntlets down. Can't do that. That's what my sister was saying. Baby, again, she better be glad she had her own modeling bag. Giselle better be glad that she wasn't one of these down and out chicks that just didn't have no money of her own. She better be glad she wasn't one of them. And so my original assessment was actually correct. Miss Linda thinks that she has lived for her husband and now it's her turn. You got to live with your husband, not for him. So it all come back to my original assessment. I told y'all I don't be missing. I don't be missing. Miss Linda is projecting certain things onto Judge Mathis. And she need not do that. You got to meet your husband halfway. She want him to slow down and he want her to speed up and keep up with him. It just seemed like Miss Linda can't keep up with him and she's salty. Miss Linda, you got to keep up with your husband. Keep up with your husband. And Mr. Mathis, you can slow down a little bit. It's okay to slow down. It's okay. It's okay to chill for, one of them golf outings. You ain't got to go to all of them. You'll be okay. You ain't got to go to the gala. Okay. You ain't got to go to that gala. You see what I'm saying? You go to the next gala. You understand? And Miss Linda, stop being a sourpuss. Stop being a sourpuss. Stop finding reasons to be upset and reasons to be difficult. Stop being difficult with that man. If he trying to extend the, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we can do this together, and he trying to resolve the issue, stop being difficult. You too old to be being difficult. Now is the time to be chilling. That's some 20-year-old stuff for a woman to be difficult just because she want to be difficult. It ain't cute. At 61, this is not cute. You cannot be difficult with your husband. Stop being difficult with him. Stop being a sourpuss in the group. Stop being the one that's always got a problem. Stop being the one where when y'all in a setting, he always got to section off and coddle you for a little while and make sure you stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Because if you don't stop doing that, you might as well go ahead, finish the paperwork, and stop and just leave that man alone, because he cannot bend over backwards and you just stand there. See, that don't work either way. That don't work either way. It takes two people to mess the marriage up, and it takes two people to keep it going. One person working on the marriage, that's not gonna work, Because I've seen it the other way. I've seen it where the woman was expected to bend over backwards and the guy just be like, I ain't doing no work. I'm not going to do nothing for the marriage. Well, then you might as well go ahead and get rid of it. Because if the person you with ain't worth doing no work for, you might as well say sayonara to that. What you holding on that person for? For what? If you already done checked out of the relationship, you need to tell your spouse that. Have the gumption to go to their face and tell them, I'm out. And ain't nothing you can do about it. I don't want to hear it. Stop holding on to folk because you don't like them, but they got some benefit. That's called using folk. Misusing them, rather. Stop being difficult with your husband. Now, here's the thing. I am rooting for this marriage. I want them to make it. I want them to be able to see. And the reason why I keep saying that is because it really ain't no reason why not. It's really not. It's really not. They're going to break this marriage up and it's not going to be no reason. And a year from now, they're going to realize it wasn't really no reason to do that. Right? It wasn't no reason to do that. You broke it for what? And I really, really, really do not want them to have to do that. However, with that being said, you can't keep folks that don't want to be kept. Can't keep folks that don't want to be kept. Because I'm quick to tell folks, I don't hold hostages. I don't hold no hostages. You don't want to be over here, you ain't got to be over here. If you don't like me, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, I'm that much of trouble to you, you know, and you just pulling your hair out and all that kind of stuff around me. Okay. I don't hold no hostages. I don't never want you to feel like you here because you obligated to be here because I'm holding hostages. I don't want nobody to be with me like that. I don't want you to give me nothing you wasn't trying to give me. I don't want you to do nothing out of a space of, you know what I'm saying, resentment or because that's not a good dynamic. That's not a good marital dynamic. You got to be doing stuff out of the goodness and the kindness. You see what I'm saying? You can't be doing stuff out of a fear based. I might lose this person. No, you have to do this stuff because, you know what I'm saying? You are focused on your marriage. You wanna give the best of you to your spouse. You want to give the best. You don't want to give the worst. Your spouse is the person you're supposed to be giving your best to. That's who's supposed to get the best part of you. The person that's gonna be in your corner when everybody else, when you can't make them phone calls, when you can't call this one and that one and this one and that one when you're down. And your spouse is the only one in your corner. That's who's supposed to get the best out of you. Not everybody else. Not everybody else. Cause I'm here with you because I want to be. Because I promise you, if I didn't want to be over here, I would not. So you really ain't got to threaten me about nothing. If it's something that's going on that I'm doing or something like that, and you know what I'm saying, it's not good, and you want to offer me the opportunity to correct it and things of that, that's fine. I ain't talking about that. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. But all that threatening and foolishness, ain't nobody got time for that. No, nobody got time for that. Too old. Too old, Miss Linda. Too old, Miss Linda. At this point, after 40 years of being with that man, y'all don't know how to talk to him. And if you do not know how to talk to this man, then I don't know why you don't know how to talk to a man you've been known for 40 years. Because ain't no way. You know how you know your man, or you should. Because as a lioness, you know when to softball him, and you know when to kind of give him your teeth a little bit. Hey. Because I've been softballing you, and now you ain't, now you call yourself don't want to hear it. Because all whatever. Oh. Don't be whatever in me. Because when you have an issue and you need me to address it, I don't whatever you. I address it. After 40 years, y'all don't know how to talk to him. Y'all ain't got telepathy yet. Y'all ain't gonna never get it if y'all ain't got telepathy. Come on. How you 40 years in and you ain't got couples telepathy? That's not, I don't like that. How you 40 years in, you ain't got couples telepathy? I had telepathy in half that time. By the time my first husband died, we was in telepathy for years, actually. If you got to be able to read. Y'all understand what I mean by telepathy? Couples telepathy. You got to be able to read the energy. See, I ain't always have to talk. The communication was in the energy. The communication was in the room. It was in the body. It was in the, you see what I'm saying? I understood what was going on with him by the way he would close the bathroom door. Don't even play with me. Oh, he not in a good mood. Mm-hmm. If he was grumbling in the bathroom to himself, oh, he woke up with attitude. So now how I'm going to play this? How you ain't in telepathy with your husband? No, I don't like that. You're supposed to be in telepathy with your husband after so long. In the beginning, you don't have telepathy. I would say it take a good almost 10, it might take about 10 years to get into telepathy. It just take a couple of years to get on the same wavelength. Telepathy is another level of that. Where you just look at him. Mm-hmm. You could tell what's going on in his head by the way he sat up out of bed and then woke up, and the way he even moving through the house at this point. So I'm hoping that they marriage can work, because it can if they want it to. But if she's going to be recalcitrant, and if she's going to be, you have to do what I want to do, if she has that attitude, she can kiss it goodbye, because he's only going to be in this remorseful space for so long. He's only going to be in that space for so long. And the only reason he's in that space is because he is taking accountability for his contribution to this. That's what's got him in that space of, I know I want to work on my marriage, because men don't do that unless they know I did contribute to this. Yeah, she said this about 3 years ago, and I ain't paying no attention because I thought she was playing. See what I'm saying? They won't cop to it if it just ain't there. But if they know they did, it's like, yeah, I do kind of want to fight for you, because I was kind of playing. You see what I'm saying? I was kind of doing, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't quite doing right. I know I wasn't quite doing right. I wasn't doing right. But see, that only lasts so long. Once he's in that space, that's when you come full circle to, okay, babe, let's really work it out. And if you need a counselor to help you through that, then you need a counselor to help you through that. Because sometimes you don't trust it, especially if you have one person that complain about something, and then that person keep promising you they're going to fix it, and then they don't fix it. And every time you get to a boiling point, then they be like, okay, I'm going to do it. That, I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to end it. Don't do that either. If you don't have intentions to do what it is that your spouse has asked you and has told you that they need from you, if you don't have any intention to give that to them, you have to say that to them, even if that break y'all up. You got to say that to them. You got to say it. If they're coming up and saying, I need this to happen, or I need this from you, you know what I'm saying, or da-da-da-da-da, don't sell no dream. Don't say, oh, yeah, I'm going to get around to it. I'm going to do such and such. Yeah, we going to make it better. And that's not your intent. Don't even say that. Because they're going to be looking for that. And when they look for it and you don't do it, that erodes the trust in the relationship. Now I don't trust your word. Now they don't trust your word. This go for men and women. Do not make your spouse have to ask you for the same thing over and over and over. And then you promise you're going to do it. And then you don't do it. You don't keep up with the promise. And then when your spouse reach a boiling point and like, no, I don't like this because I keep asking you. And then you want to do it, what they asked you for. You're eroding trust, and you're doing something else that you don't realize you're doing. You're proving to them that you're capable of giving them what they asked for. You just don't want to do it. That's what you're telling them. What you're telling them is, I could give you what you want out of me in this relationship. I could give you what you want, but I don't want to give you what you want. I want to make you beg for it. Because when you get tired, when I think you too tired, then I give it to you. Shut your mouth a little bit. I shut your mouth a little bit, and then I take it back. You can't do that. No one can do that. And you would not believe how common this stuff is. This is how these marriages is breaking up. I'm telling you. The mindset and the way people go about conflict resolution, problem solving, trying to get their spouse to do what they want or trying to get out of their spouse what they feel that they need out of relationship, you would never believe how much people don't know how to do that. And they go about it in such a bad way and then be flabbergasted when it all just break and they quote unquote don't know how it happened. And all it is necessary is a shift in the perception, step out of your comfort zone and see the relationship from the other side. See your spouse's side, understand it. The other person gotta understand your side. You would not believe how many people are together for X amount of time and don't know each other. They don't know each other. And it's really unfathomable. You'll be like, how? But how is it possible? The men don't be understanding women's psychology. The women don't be understanding how men think. Don't be knowing. Just be coming from their perspective, tunnel vision. That'll kill you. You gotta be able to come out of what you think it is. That is how the equilibrium is recalibrated in a relationship, because it's gonna get off. Y'all gotta, that's what work on your marriage means. Work on your marriage means when it's out of equilibrium, y'all gotta work to get back at homeostasis. You gotta come back to equilibrium. And that means coming out of your comfort zone. Because that person is either worth it or they not. The marriage is either worth it or not. Come out of your comfort zone and see the situation from a different angle. So many times, it will change your perception and how you feel about it. And you'll be like, oh, okay. No, I get it. And that will lead you to a resolution. Instead of just being mad at each other, pointing fingers. No, you doing this to me. You doing this to me. You doing that to me. You get so entrenched in your version of events. You're too old for it, Miss Linda. You better go talk to your husband. Or don't. Let whoever in your ear talk to you and talk you out your 40-year marriage. Whoever talking to you. And if it's a woman that's not related to Judge Mathis, that's the one that want him. Because I guarantee you her kids is trying to be like, mama, come on now. I guarantee you that. So whatever other little good girlfriend or whoever it is, girl, I wouldn't put up with that. Yes, she would, in a heartbeat. Girl, I wouldn't put up with that. That's a lie. She can't wait to put up with it. She can't wait to put up with it, baby. Cause she looking at you, Miss Linda, and all your shortcomings. Oh well, see, she don't tell you that part. She said, "Ooh, girl, I wouldn't do that." But she looking at you like, see, you don't keep up with him. You don't keep up with him. You wasn't throwing that thing. You be arguing with him. Mm-hmm. See, I wouldn't do that. And she don't tell you that part. That's the part she don't say. That's the part she don't say, baby. Walk out. Go ahead and walk out of there. And see, don't she try to move in, baby. Clean up woman. The clean up woman. And you'll be looking around to a girl. Well, I don't know what's wrong with you, girl. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He don't do me like that. Play. Keep on playing, Miss Linda. This not a game. Thank you, Mogul. Say, I don't think there can be reconciliation. She initiated the paperwork, and it's sad. Thank you, Afro, for your contribution. Thank you, Nuke Man. Said, don't be a church musician at 6'2" tall for a church that's 80% women. Too much attention. I have to make peace with wifey all the time. Thank you, Bernard. Said, peace and blessings to all your supporters in the chat. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Ruben. And said, if Judge yields to Ms. Linda all the way, then it would be a case of you not the man I met. Right. And see, you never could go all the way. You understand? Always got to be balanced, meet in the middle. Because if she not willing to concede, then she don't want the marriage. And that's just the bottom line. Thank you. You and Unk Podcast. Thank you so much. So your work is truly a blessing. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Listen, she looked like she's scarce on that. I'm glad you brought that up, Miss Linda. Because you still want to be mad and thinking about what he did with another chick. That is neither here nor there. That is neither here nor there. Yeah. I ain't saying that solved all the problems, but I'm saying it's certain problems that wouldn't even be problems if you, and not for Father's Day. Not only if he act right and all that foolishness. Better tune it up. me. You better go tune it up. Like an old trombone. You better tune it up. I don't know. Miss Linda, you ain't been tuning it up. Because Judge Mathis look like he like a little good little tune up. Just like that old lady in that clip. I ain't do no video on it, but that young lady asked an old lady, how long you been married? They married 50 years, 50, 60 years, something like that. And the young lady asked the old lady, how you stay married that long? And she went over and she thought she was whispering. She didn't know the mic was gonna pick it up. And the old lady got up and she whispered it to the young lady, but the mic caught it anyway. She said, suck a lot of that's how I stay. And everybody blew up, and that old lady was she was blushing. She was like, oh, like I didn't mean everybody to hear that. And her husband was just sitting there smiling. That's how you know it was real. She wasn't lying, because he was sitting there with his smile too big. She wasn't lying. And I'm telling y'all, it solved more problems than it start. It solved more problems than it start. What? It solved more problems than it started, baby. I promise you that. Ooh. Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of the Insecurity, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.